Hi everyone, welcome to this video by Education Now Institute of Finance. My name is Moya Kihumba. Today we are going to look at inventory control and specifically economic order quantity. What is inventory control? Inventory control would include functions of inventory ordering, purchasing, receiving, storing, and issuing and controlling levels of inventories. Some businesses attempt to control inventories on a scientific basis by balancing the costs of inventory shortages against cost of inventory holding. This scientific control of inventories may be analyzed into three parts. The first of the parts, and which is the focus of this video, is the economic order quantity. And firms get to decide the optimum order size for inventories, which will minimize the cost of ordering plus cost of holding inventory. In the next video, the subsequent one, we shall look at what if we've been given bulk discount. Can we abandon EOQ and order more quantities in order to obtain the discounts? And then due to uncertainties in demand and supply lead time is the time it takes for goods to be delivered, then firms might decide to hold on to buffer inventories. Again, that we will look at it in a different video. Now, most syllabuses of several professional examinations, be they KSEB, be they CASNEB, be they ACCA, have inventory control features, even some university programs. And the areas that are mainly tested in these examinations will include: one, how to determine the economic order quantity, EOQ; two, how to get the optimal order level; three, the effect of bulk discounts; and four, discussing the various aspects of inventory management. And sometimes the students would refer to that as theory. Why do organizations hold inventories? What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? You see, these advantages and the disadvantages are the basis through which we must calculate EOQ and the optimal reorder level. The advantages of holding inventories would include the need to meet customers' demand. You do not want your customers to come to your store and you find you do not have an item, to take advantage of bulk discount, and to reduce total annual ordering costs. However, there are certain disadvantages. One of which is that you must store those items. You must store these items of inventories, and that will come up with a cost, storage costs. Of course, these items you are storing have got a finance implication. You'd have to finance them somehow, and the more you keep them, the more you'll be tying up your finances, the more you'll be tying up your capital. And of course, if you store lots of them, they could deteriorate, they could become obsolete, or sometimes they could be stolen. The aim behind calculating the economic order quantity and the optimal reorder level is to weigh up this and other advantages and disadvantages that we may not have talked about, and to find a suitable compromise level. Let's start with the economic order quantity, which is the subject of this video. The economic order quantity is the optimum ordering quantity for an item which will minimize total costs. As we shall see, at EOQ, we are only looking at relevant cost only. When determining how much to order at a time, an organization will recognize that, one, as order quantities rises, average inventory rises, and so do the total annual cost of holding the inventories. Now, again, as order quantity rises, the number of orders decreases, and therefore the total annual order cost also decreases. When we are calculating EOQ, there are certain assumptions that we make. one of the assumptions is that this constant price, this constant demand, this constant read time, which is almost zero. We order those items, we receive them immediately. Holding costs are dependent on average inventory, and order costs are independent of order quantities. What is the basic EOQ formula? Now, there are certain aspects that you have to know. We have to know the demand, the D, the CO, which is the ordering cost, the CH, which is the holding cost of inventory for one period, and we only consider relevant cost. I said that. And of course, Q is the reorder quantity. If it's at EOQ, Q will be the EOQ. The total annual cost of inventory, that which we are trying to minimize, is computed as holding cost plus ordering cost. Holding costs is basically average inventory. Average inventory is Q over 2 times holding cost per unit CH. On the other hand, ordering cost is the number of orders per period. Number of orders per period we shall see is D over Q times ordering cost per unit. The objective of EOQ is to minimize total cost, which is the sum of holding costs and ordering costs. And we shall see practically that at EOQ level, the total holding cost per period is equal to total ordering cost in the period. And in computing EOQ, we compute EOQ as the square root of 2 times ordering cost times periodic demand, everything divided by holding costs. That's a very important formula to learn. Most examining body will not give you that formula. They'll require you to remember it. And indeed, most other formulas. Let's look at an illustration. We are told Ouroboros Unlimited uses 5,000 units of its raw material per month. The delivery costs are $25 per order, and annual holding costs are 3 per unit. You are required to find the order size that will minimize inventory cost. Now, the order size that minimizes inventory cost is the EOQ, the number of orders placed each year, the average inventory, the length of inventory cycle, assuming a 360-day year, and the total cost of holding inventory for the year. It's important to note that all the items in the EOQ formula are based in the same time period. The demand should be annual demand, and the holding cost should be the annual holding cost per unit. You might be given in an examination, or indeed this question that we have, which demand is stated as a quantity for each 3-month period. You need to convert the 3-month or the monthly demand into annual demand for the use in the EOQ formula. In our case here, you notice that we've been given monthly demand. We need to convert that monthly demand into annual demand because the holding costs are annual. If holding costs had been monthly, then you could have left it as that. So let's look at the solution. As always, you must write down your formula. EOQ is 2 times CO times D over CH. You get the square root of that. D is 5,000 times 12. So our annual demand is 6,000 units. We've been given our ordering cost as 25 and holding cost as 3. Therefore, the EOQ is 1,000 units. The Q, 1,000, is the inventory level that will minimize total cost. And the relevant cost here will be the holding cost and the ordering cost. How many orders do we make each year? That would be annual demand divided by quantity, the reorder quantity. Annual demand is 60,000. The reorder quantity, the EOQ, in our case is 1,000. So each year we'll be making 60 orders. Average inventory is the reorder quantity divided by 2, which I've not given there, but obviously it's 500. And then the length of the inventory cycle is the number of days in a year divided by the number of orders. So every other sixth day, we place an order. What is the total holding cost for inventory in the year? It will be holding cost plus inventory cost. And you notice that holding costs 1,500 is exactly equal to ordering cost 1,500, and therefore the total the total cost of having the inventory is 3,000. Let's look at another illustration. A company uses 14,450 units of material X each year, which cost 2 shillings per unit. The cost of placing an order is $125 for each year. The cost of holding inventory each year is 10% of the purchase cost. What is the order quantity for material X that will minimize annual cost? Of course, that would be the EOQ. Again, you write the formula. The EOQ, the D is 14,450. CO is 125 pounds. CH is 10% of the purchase price, which is 0.2. And then we get our EOQ at 4,250 units. Of course, you'll notice that using the EOQ, the average orders placed by the supplier is 3.4 orders each year. And it's good to know that we said, and I repeat, that at EOQ, annual holding cost is equal to annual ordering cost. In this example, ordering cost, if you compute it, we'll find it 425. Holding cost, again, will be $425. So you'll see that annual ordering cost and annual holding cost are always the same whenever the purchased quantities for material is the EOQ. And the assumptions on which EOQ is based, which we described earlier, apply. Now, take your time and you look at this question. Once you get the answer, you might want to put it in the comment. If you have issues, you could check for my email, kihubamoy@gmail.com, and said we could discuss it with you. But try it out. You see what you get. I would love to see all those solutions from you. That marks the end. Remember to subscribe to the channel and share, and invite your friends also to like it. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I shall see you next time when you look at case of bar discount. Bye bye.